In the Middle Ages, Jews were not allowed to own property or do any farming. These professions and these entitlements were set aside for the non-Jews. The Jews were not allowed to own property, they were not allowed to do farming. As a result, the Jews developed businesses, and one of the businesses they developed was money lending. And the non-Jews, especially the landowners, in order to develop their lands, would borrow money for the Jews. From time to time, the landowners were unable to repay their loans to the Jews. So what they did was, instead of figuring out a repayment plan, they would get together with the peasants, and they would divide up the Jewish wealth, and they would plan a confiscation of Jewish wealth years in advance of the actual pogrom. So some of the pogroms may have appeared to the Jews as spontaneous. In fact, these were planned confiscations years in advance. The exact same situation is replaying today in the negotiations between the State of Israel and the Palestinian Authority. The non-Jews, as well as the Arab world, waited 65 years for Israel to become a developed country, to become the envy of the entire world. And now that the Jews have returned to their land and they developed it into a land which is the envy of the entire world, now they want to confiscate that land and they want to divide up our wealth amongst the non-Jews. But the difference is that the non-Jews are not negotiating with other non-Jews about our property. The non-Jews are negotiating with our representatives to give away our land for their so-called peace. I do not allow anyone to negotiate my share of Eretz Yisrael for so-called peace. All these people who are interested in giving away land for the so-called peace are not giving away their land. They're confiscating the land that belongs to somebody else, and they're negotiating that land. They never asked me permission. They never asked anyone who is going to be affected by this permission whether they can give away their land. Beit El is on no one's map to stay as part of Eretz Yisrael except HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows that in Beit El, which is the Yavne of Yeshuvim, the Yavne of Eretz Yisrael, with literally hundreds of Talmidei Chachamim, and schools, and Batei Kinesios, and all types of chesed, all types of projects. This is the most holiest place in Eretz Yisrael, except perhaps from Yerushalayim and Hebron. Here, in the place where it's on HaKadosh Baruch Hu's map, how important it is, but it's on no one else's map. Beit El is not even, is definitely decided in advance it's going to be given away to the Arabs, and all our property is going to be confiscated. And I do not give anyone permission to take away my land or negotiate my land without consulting me first. And now that you consulted me, I'm telling you, I do not allow you to give away my land for the so-called peace. I come from Washington. And in Washington, they had a debate for over 25 years of whether to build a road called the ICC, the Interstate Inter-County Connector. And the reason why they were negotiating over this road for 25 years was because a brown toad was going to be displaced. I can't understand why our representatives do not give us at least the same consideration as a brown toad. A brown toad can hold up a road that would save millions and millions of hours of transportation of people's times. That's okay, because the brown toad is important. But the rights of Jews who have built Eretz Yisrael, who served in the army, who are Moser Nefesh to build this land, they're being taken and driven out of their land without their consent. You can give it our Ulpana. 5 buildings, over 30 people, over 30 families were displaced because some Arab made a claim to that land. And that one Arab was defended by dozens of human rights organizations because of his land. Where are our representatives representing our interests? Where are they looking out for our benefit? And therefore, what they're doing is an avla, and is a terrible, terrible travesty, and it's stealing of our land without, and taking away our assets, our toil without our consent. Thank you.